Welcome to Learn English with Fun with 𝙛𝙪𝙣. Hello and welcome to the Learn English with Fun podcast with 𝙛𝙪𝙣. My name is Govind. Twice every week, we teach you how best to learn English vocabulary, spelling, pronunciation, and what we will do in today's podcast is about grammar. More specifically, we are going to learn how to use the past continuous verb tense to tell great stories about the past and also to answer questions about what were you doing at a specific time or when something was happening. Remember, if you need any help with your English language skills, then be sure to check out with 𝙛𝙪𝙣 by subscribing to our Spotify podcasts or search Learn English with Fun. If you don't have a Spotify account, you can visit www.𝙤𝙪𝙣.com for the complete set of our podcasts, which are categorized as per the discussion. Do note that our podcasts are short and impactful and are posted twice a week. So, people love telling stories, don't they? And a lot of verbs in English are used to tell stories. These story verbs are often less commonly used verbs. That means verbs we don't use very often. But they work perfectly when you want to tell a story about the past. So let me start by telling you a story about me. Listen carefully and see if you can hear the past continuous verbs that I am going to use in my story. Are you ready? Yesterday, I was walking down the street when I ran into an old friend. My old friend was drinking a coffee when he saw me. That's it. That's my story. It has only 2 sentences, but it has 4 verbs. It has 2 past continuous verbs and 2 past tense verbs. Let us listen a little more closely to those verbs. I was walking. My friend was drinking. So, was walking and was drinking are both examples of past continuous verbs. The verb has 2 parts. The be verb, was or were, and the ing verb, in this case, walking and drinking. Putting it together, it became was walking, was drinking. Now, I told you that my 2-sentence story had 4 verbs, and that is because we use the past continuous verb tense, was walking and was drinking, with other verbs, in this case, ran into and saw. So, what's going on here? Well, what we are doing is describing 2 events happening at the same time. So, we need to say what I was doing and what the other person was doing. Again, listen carefully to my story and this time listen to the other past simple verbs. Ran into and saw. Ready? Yesterday, I was walking down the street when I ran into an old friend. My old friend was drinking a coffee when he saw me. Did you hear them? Did you also notice the special coordinating words we used with this verb tense as well? Let us listen again. Yesterday, I was walking down the street when I ran into an old friend. My old friend was drinking a coffee when he saw me. So, here the coordinating word when is used between the past continuous verb and the past simple verb tense. It brings together the 2 events, the 2 things that happen. So, that's the first way to use the past continuous to tell a coincidental story about the past. It is a fun way to begin to tell a story as it really sets the scene for you. Always remember that if you need additional help with your grammar, If you want to understand everything you hear or read and you want to express yourself completely, then check out www.𝙤𝙪𝙣-𝙠 where you can take great online English courses on a range of different topics. Let us now look at another use of the past continuous verb tense, and that is how to answer a very common question in English. What were you doing? Let us give you some examples. What were you doing last night? What were you doing yesterday? What were you doing last week? What were you doing on your holidays? What were you doing at 6 p.m. yesterday? Doesn't it sound like your boss? Well, notice how this question is the past continuous verb tense in question form, were plus doing. And also notice that it asks about a certain time in the past, like last night, yesterday, last week, etc. Now, to answer this question, you need to use a past continuous verb. You need to say, I was cleaning, cooking, driving, swimming, studying, or whatever it was that you were doing at that time. Ready? Let me ask you some questions and I want you to answer them using a past continuous verb. What were you doing last night? Oh, when you ask me, my response is, I was watching Netflix. Let us go and ask another question. What were you doing yesterday? Oh, nice. I was working all day. That would be my response. What was yours? Check it out. And the third sentence, what were you doing on your holidays? Sounds great. I was taking a vacation at a swimming pool. Well then, so what have we learned? Well, we have learned that we use the past continuous verb to tell a story of when two things happened. We also learned that the past continuous verb is often used with a past simple verb and one of those special coordinating words like when. Then we learned that we can answer the question, what were you doing? With a past continuous verb as well. Terrific. That's all from me for this episode. Remember to subscribe to this podcast and check out www.𝙤𝙪𝙣-𝙠 if you need more help. See you soon. Signing off. This is Govind. Have a nice time.